Welcome back to Nail Babe Pod, a podcast dedicated to interviewing the nail babes of the nail world. I'm your host, Abe, the Nail Babe, full-time hand model, nail polish influencer, content creator, and podcaster. This week, my nail babe is Tyler from Evil Twin Nails. Have you heard of Mooncat? Have you heard of Cirque Colors? Then you've seen Tyler's nails. He's a nail polish swatcher, a graphic designer, and a friend, and definitely deserves the title Nail Babe. So without any further ado, oil your cuticles, lotion your hands, and let's welcome Tyler to the pod. I am so excited to welcome my friend Tyler, Evil Twin Nails on Instagram. You know him from Mooncat. You know him from Cirque. Beautiful swatch photos. And
Thank you.
a designer. He helped me with the logo for this very podcast. I sent it to him because I wanted his feedback from a fellow designer. And you were like, just send me the file. This will be easier. Like, let me just do it quick. It was like so quick too. You're like, boom, 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 done. Here you go. And I was like, that's exactly what I wanted.
You did pretty much all the work. All I did was just a couple little tweaks here and there, a few bells and whistles. So I can't wait though. It's so cute. It's an adorable little logo. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Of course. I feel like I needed that extra. I got it like 85%, if I do say so myself. But I feel like you pushed it to like refine it to the next level.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, the hardest part is like getting the concept and like the actual foundation together, which you did all of that. So it was really, really pretty work.
Thank you. Well, almost like it's the concept, but then it's like the execution with everything. Like some of my videos, I'm like, the concept is there, but like the execution, I guess I could do it a few more times, but I don't really want to.
I feel you. Same here. Absolutely. There are so many times where I'm like, the best idea. In fact, I just did this full 10-finger manicure with the Sally Hansen Pride collection.
Oh.
And in my mind, it was just such a cute idea. It was like, I loved the yellow shade. And so I was like, okay, yellow base. And let's do like micro Frenchies with all the rest of the colors. And then a micro, what's the micro French
like
on the bottom?
Smile line?
Smile line French? I don't know.
Cuticle French?
Cuticle
We're coining
French.
it here.
Just hashtag cuticle French from now on. But it just looked like garbage. Like, this was so bad.
I have a new folder on my phone that's just like nail fails that I've been adding things to because I'm just like, no, I can't post that. It just looks bad.
I shouldn't have picked the yellow as the base. I should have gone with the white or the black or something. It's a mess. Maybe I should post a picture of it in my stories or something.
Hopefully this will come out close to June. I'm still like putting these all together, but we're in June. It's very timely. So I'm grateful to have you on here, which like also elephant in the room, we're both men who paint our nails, which I think is like an interesting topic, which we'll get into today. Because I feel like there's not that many of us. There's like a handful, which we kind of started at the same time.
Yeah, there aren't a ton of us that are kind of doing the like swatching gig like us. There are a lot of male nail techs out there, you know, and like they're male identifying nail techs that have accounts, and I follow a lot of them. I think there are definitely a lot of men that paint their nails.
But I think the swatching like influencer is like a very niche community to begin with, and then like you put like male identified, that is like another like whole level. I feel there's only like a few of us. We have to stick together.
Yeah, it's true. There's only a few of us, and we do have to stick together. You know, because like it can be easy to feel a little competitive sometimes with those who are in your niche. You know, but rising tide lifts all boats.
That's true.
And when we're the minority, we just like we got to stick together. You know?
I love seeing, because now you swatch for Mooncat and Cirque, which are like two of my favorite brands. You're like on their website all the time in all their like marketing, which I love seeing, because also you have beautiful hands and photos, I will just say.
Oh, thank you.
It's true. So I love seeing your stuff. I always like to start with getting people's spark notes or like cliff note versions of how they got into nail polish to get us going in the least amount of sentences possible.
Which is a challenge for me. Okay, here we go. I couldn't paint my nails because I was a professional dancer for a long time. And so it was off limits. Started painting my nails as soon as I quit, and was a DJ and designer and was allowed to. And then COVID anxiety is what really like honing in my skills and focusing. Thank you, Kelly Marissa. And that's when I started the account. Pretty short, right?
Yeah. I'll take it.
Okay.
No, you failed the first assignment. You have to leave. I feel like that's kind of similar to me. My cliff notes is simply not logical, COVID boredom, and self-expression. And then like for Instagram, it was kind of like a catalog for like all my untried polishes that I bought And I was like, let's try these out. Let's post somewhere.
How many do you think you had before you started your Instagram?
I think I had
How
like
many
100.
untrieds?
Untried's 100 in total, but like untried's probably like half maybe. So
Right on, right on. Interesting.
what about you? Where were you before Instagram?
I was probably pretty close, maybe not quite as far. I think I had maybe, I don't know, 50, 75,
Yeah.
somewhere around
Were they like
there.
mostly indies or like mainstream?
I started collecting back when American Apparel launched their neons. That's actually kind of when I started wearing polish. Was I was going
Hmm.
to American Apparel to buy a bunch of spandex and stuff for DJ gigs and stuff like that. I like to wear all of their like leggings and leotards and shit like that. And they had these neon polishes, and so that's kind of where I started. And then at some point, I got rid of them. I don't know why. I think they probably, you know how neons are. They
Well,
probably were
yeah.
just too.
Yeah, they probably weren't great.
But I also, to be honest, I'm going to be totally honest here. There was maybe some internalized homophobia at that
Mm,
time too, where I was like doing it, and then maybe somebody made a comment or something, and I was just like,
mm.
okay, never mind. I'm not doing this anymore, and I threw them away and got rid of them. And then started again at some point. And so, yeah, my collection though before the pandemic was like I found Cirque.
Hmm.
I had some Live Love polishes. Before I found any indies, though, it was like Sally Hansen, Essie were kind of my
Okay.
two. Those are my target brands that I was like, okay, I like these designs. Sally Hansen, I don't know about your packaging and whatever and logo,
Those
but the
triangle bottles.
yeah. But Essie, I was like, ooh, okay, I like these bottles. I like the
Mm,
brush shape. I like the little E and everything. I'm kind of a packaging and branding snob that way a
mm.
little bit.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you're a designer. We appreciate quality.
Right. But I will forego an ugly logo and ugly bottle for a great polish for sure.
I feel like I've kind of like changed. Like, I don't know. I just don't do ugly label anymore. Like like I used to, but like now I'm just like after like the 2000th bottle, I'm like, I don't want an ugly bottle. Like I want it to look nice, like on my wall too. Anyway, no, okay. I want to go back to the dancer. I did not know this. What's the deal?
It was just another life. So I actually
Yeah.
got my degree. I got my BFA in modern
Hmm.
dance.
Oh,
So here I am weaponizing my BFA.
yeah. Well, you do have the finger dance, right?
I mean, really, like a lot of, I feel like my posing
Mm,
and sort of movement and stuff does kind of come from that. But I got my degree in it. I danced professionally here in Salt Lake City for a little while. I ultimately was like, I don't dig this tour life, and my body is kind of like
um,
not loving this, and so I decided I wanted to switch careers, and that's when I traded to design and got into that full time, and that's been since 2008.
and they wouldn't let you paint your nails while you were dancing.
I was on a repertory company that like every piece we did was from a certain time period, and we were bringing it back. It was a company that was like
Oh.
founded by the Rockefellers in the 60s. It's called Repertory Dance Theater. So I did like old pieces that were
Hmm.
really specific in their costuming and their
Oh.
hair and makeup and everything. And so we could just never have nail polish, much like an office situation, but
Hmm.
even more strict. So yeah, I just wasn't able to for a long time.
I've heard that like also that's like the people at Starbucks like aren't allowed to wear nail polish. And I'm like, why?
What?
Like, supposedly it's gonna like chip off into the food or something. I don't know. But I'm like, not if you're doing it right. Like it shouldn't like
Yeah.
that's weird.
And I imagine if you're someone that's getting manicures or doing your own nails, you're probably more hygienic and your nails probably look a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased.
I mean, I like nails, so I think everyone should be able to paint their nails. I don't know if you feel this, but like lately, I don't feel like I wear things for me. I like put things on that, oh, I have to wear this to like take a photo. Let me put this on. So it almost feels like my hand is like somebody else's almost. Because I also don't really paint my other hand. I don't know if you feel like that. Yeah, that's what I do. One each.
Yeah. I mean, that actually kind of hit.
Uh
Like, just I feel kind of similarly. I mean, particularly right now, just things are busy, and which I'm so
Yeah.
happy about. But there are a lot of times where I'm like, ooh, I want to do that nail art or
Mm,
try that technique or like jump on that trend, and I just don't have time to like
yeah.
sit and. I can name so many. Like, have you done I think you did it. The geode, not geode.
Oh, yeah. Like you file into the
Uh
layers.
huh.
I did it like
Did you do
last
that?
year, but not
Yeah.
recently.
Oh, so ahead of the trend,
Yeah, I
you
guess.
were on that one.
Hey, I did it last year actually. It was so thick though, because I did it with gel and like I feel like I wasn't good at gel back then, but like it was so thick and like lumpy. It was and not cool. But yeah, like also that like Pride Manny that I wanted to do, and I'm like, oh, I haven't done like I was just like which like yeah, it's a good thing to have, I guess, if like you're so busy that like you're doing other stuff in the nail community at least. And life, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
was listening to another podcast about like a model, and she was like, I do not like myself. I just like am a hired person. Where I'm like, that's what I feel like. I'm a model. I'm a hand model. I don't own my hand.
Do you identify as a hand model when you talk to people?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, I'm just like, oh no, mostly I'm a model, and then see the reaction, and they'd be like a hand model.
Well, hey, you can work it.
What do you say? Content creator? That's what I mostly say.
Oh, that's good. I should say that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not something I've said that often, I guess. I'm not like telling people that often, but when
you do so many other stuff too. So,
well, I mean, like nobody in my day job, I don't think really knows because I just don't talk about it. You know, like they like my nail polish and stuff and they see it, but I'm not like, oh, by the way, I'm a hand model. But I have wondered, like, what would I say? And I think, actually I did, I think it was Jen from Death Valley Nails called me a hand model once. And I was like, oh, that's right. I am a hand model.
I am a model. Thank you.
I'm going to identify like that. So, yeah, I mean, hand model works. But, like, I say nail polish swatcher, and that just confuses people.
Yeah, people don't know what that is.
They're like, what's swatching?
I paint my nails 100 times a day.
Yeah.
I think content creator is like social media marketing material, whatever. The like accountant was like, what are you doing? What is this? And I'm like, I guess like marketing materials, like, because that's what it is, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely marketing assets.
Yeah, because also to be like, I'm an influencer is like also like annoying.
Sorry, I paused. I thought I was going to spit my coffee all over the screen. Yeah, influencer.
So they're just like, for what? I'm like, nails? Like, it's just also like, that's just like weird. And then it's like a whole thing. But I go to this coffee shop every day. And there's this one lady who like comes with her daughter. And like, she's like slowly like trying to like talk to me. And she's asked me like what I've done. I was just like content creator. She's like, what type of content? I'm like, oh, like for the internet. She's like, what type? Like, it just like kept like, I was like trying not to sag. And then finally I did. And then she's like, you should like paint my daughter's nails. And like, which I ended up like bringing her some nail polish. I like left it in my car. So like the next time I saw her, which was actually this morning, she was there.
Really?
So I like went and like painted her daughter's nails outside. Anyway, it was fun.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. That turned out to be a really sweet story, actually.
It was nice.
I love that.
I was like, do I really want to do that? But I was like, it's easy. She doesn't actually, that's my thing. I don't know. Okay. Do people ask you to paint their nails?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you like doing that?
Yeah. No, like it scares me a little bit because I'm like, every time I've done it, I've been like, oh shit. Can I swear on this? Sorry.
I think so. I haven't really decided.
Okay. I just keep doing it. I don't want you to like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where it's going. I don't want you to get like, demonetized. No, but like I had like my bestie had me come and paint her son's nails, which was super fun. And they were just so tiny and like, and he picked a magnetic too. So I was like, oh boy, okay, how are we going to magnetize on this little canvas? But it was a Dom nail polish magnetic that he chose and it worked out great. So shout out to Dom. That was fun. But then I have like, there are a couple friends of mine that, like I had a friend who asked for blood splatter nails on matte black because he was doing like a drag Freddy Krueger for Halloween. And that was super intimidating because he wanted gel, he wanted splatter. It was like...
But these people actually know what... I mean, because he knows what gel is and all that stuff? Like, no.
No, he didn't. He sent me a picture he saw somewhere, and I was like, okay, well, that's going to require gel. But it was also kind of like, this could be fun. And he's new to it and was kind of like a little shy, but interested. And so I wanted to meet him there and do it. And they turned out pretty great. And his costume was so good. And he just came up in his heels and his like tight little like Freddy Krueger striped like knit thing. Just was feeling himself, and the nails looked good. And
did he take it off the next day?
He had to come back. He had to come to me to get that off. We had to soak that shit off for a while.
I just heard that some gel is not soak off. Some Korean gel or something is like not, you can't soak it off. You have to file it off. Like it's permanent.
Seriously?
I was like, But my thing is like, we as like people who do this so much, I just need to remind myself that other people don't care as much as we do. Like if we get it on their skin or like whatever, it's not a perfect like cuticle line and like the tip isn't wrapped in like top coat. They're just like, yeah, that's fine. But like that's why like I am like so like I have to get like 2 inches away from their nail to like paint it because I want to do a good job, because that's what I do for my own self because I like care that much. But then people don't care. So I'm like, why am I trying that hard when they just like are gonna like chip it and like break it the next day?
Yeah,
So it's,
basically. No, but I'm the same way. And
yeah.
ultra paranoid, headlamp on, down, like
Yeah.
right in it. They're like, Jesus.
Like, I just wanted you to slap something on. People think it's just like an easy thing. Like, just paint your nails.
They underestimate,
Yeah.
the amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
I did, like
Yeah.
I still like sometimes I will start a type of nail art and I get halfway through it and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like this was over my head.
That's why I just paint one nail. I just paint my thumb. You're not getting a whole hand. That's why I like still see people who do like full hand swatches. I still don't understand how people have time for that. Let me know.
I ask myself the same question, honey.
You get one nail, and then like now I'm just like, you get one swipe, and that's all you get. Like, I don't even paint the full nail.
Which is amazing. And honestly, like you're getting, well, first
Still
of
does the
all,
job.
let's just say that your thumb swatches change the game.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you.
They're amazing.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Your video swatching, I remember when you switched to the white background and I was like, oh, it's over for these hoes.
Yeah.
It is over. Like
I stopped using the flash on my phone.
Oh, we were using the flash, huh? Oh my God. We could just talk forever about like old shit we used to do that was just awful.
Well, that's what, like, I'm coming up to my 1000th post. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Should I do like a compilation of every single post? I'm like, do I want to do that? Like, that seems like it's going to be a lot harder than.
Yeah. I mean, honey, you do some ambitious stuff, but that like, whew, that might take you some time. 1,000, congratulations!
Thank you. I was like, I'm not going to do 1,000 layers of polish. First of all, that's just out of the question. I was originally thinking because I did like 700 layers of stickers. I don't know if you saw that, and like,
sure did.
I originally was. No, thank you. I was originally thinking that would be my 1000th post, and I would do 1,000 stickers. But then I was like, this is still like 2 months away. Like, I'm just going to post this now. And I didn't get to 1,000. I just stopped because I was tired. So I stopped at 700. But anyway.
Amazing. Seriously. Some of the pieces that you've done have been like so ambitious. Like the SIG cuticle oil, which I still need to get some. Is that sold out?
I think it did sell it, actually. I remember that.
But your reel for that was so good. It was, and I could just see you like lining those up in Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, and then you did it. Then you posted a video like
behind the scenes. Yeah.
Which I also love.
Because you're doing stuff like this on your day job, right? Because I feel like this also, what I'm learning through like interviewing other people is like everyone has their strengths like in their day job, and then they like how that comes into the nail community. Like you can see where their strengths are and like what they're good at because of what they do like in their day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that with you for sure. Absolutely. Like you have architecture background, right?
Yeah. So like all that, using all these tools and whatever. I guess that's why I like the clean lines, right?
Yeah. They come through in your work for sure.
I mean, you definitely come through as like a designer for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing all day. I my full-time gig is at the University of Utah in the College of Fine Arts. I'm one of the marketing design people for. I have two of the units in the college: the School of Dance that I graduated from, and the Department of Film and Media Arts. So I'm designing all of their promotional materials. I've designed their websites. Well, I'm redesigning both of their websites right now. I didn't design their current websites, if anyone looks redesigning. And I just did a bunch of merch for both of them. Yeah, like it's everything, anything that design touches within both of those units I'm handling. And then I have freelance clients on the side. I have two clients. One is a cannabis company and one is a CBD company, and they're both in Alaska.
Oh.
And I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. So I do everything for them remote. I've been able to travel up there once to go and visit, and had the like incredible opportunity to check out the whole grow warehouse and their whole process and everything, their retail space. And then I went on a delivery with them from Fairbanks to Anchorage, and we stopped at a bunch of their wholesalers along the way. So I got this like road trip through Denali National Park, and it was really cool. And I love that work. But Alaska has full recreational, full medical legalization and has for a long time, and they're very chill. Like the vibe around cannabis up there is, highly regulated, but it's also just very like Alaska. It's very chill.
Well, that's exciting. That seems like a big job though. I feel like the university must be a fun job too, because like I feel like you can get away with a little bit more like through university maybe. I don't know. Do you think so?
I mean, the university was definitely doing like, I'm designing all of the promotional posters for all the dance shows, and then like the season calendar, the season artwork and everything. And so that's super fun. I'm on a lot of photo shoots with dancers, like after every concert, I have them on set on a seamless backdrop, capturing costumes and all like dynamic moments of each piece. And so I get a lot of really fun like on set time that's very different from what I'm doing with nails, but it also like totally influences it, and vice versa. Like things I'm learning as I'm doing this nail stuff, I take back to work and bring back home as well. It's pretty cool.
I did like some design work when I was in college for like the admissions department. And I remember it was good. And then they got like a new director. And then she was like, no, you can't use this. You can't use this font. You have to like do this. So I was like, what? I just trying to make a postcard for like admitted students. Like, I don't know why we're like so like crazy about this. And they'd be like, we want photos that are better. And I'm like, here's all my photos I've taken. Like, no, we need different type of photos. And I'm like, well, what do you want? Like, what? Like, I've given you all different. And they're like, they couldn't describe what they wanted, but they didn't want what I had. It was just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, very much I deal with that. Like, I'm dealing with dancers and choreographers and stuff. And so there's a lot of personalities, and the filmmakers are pretty chill and they're a little more relaxed, but like, it's still fun. But the brand guidelines and everything are very strict. I'm establishing all the brand guidelines like for the School of Dance, but then the University of Utah guidelines are like red, this Pantone, PMS 126, it's very, very specific.
I wanted to do this like stamp of like our crest. I got like they had an embosser, and I like photographed that with like a huge like whatever camera, and like I was gonna like print that on with like a stamp, and like it was like really cool. I'm like, no, you can't use that. And I'm like, this is our official stamp. Like, why can't I use? And they're like, it's not our official logo. And I'm like, it's literally they stamped this on like diplomas and things, like official documents. I don't know. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. See, and with cannabis, I'm designing a Bio Jesus strain campaign right now. And so like. I got to work with this illustrator to do this incredible illustration of Bio Jesus, which he's the Jesus of the plant world. And so there's a bunch of like plants and animals and stuff all coming out of his beard. And anyway, but like I'm creating an entire campaign and displays, and they're doing a sale, and that's super fun. Like, just very different. And there's way less rules around that. I have to, stay within the brand guidelines of good cannabis.
But then you're basically like, you come home and then like you're making like marketing, like also because you also work with Death Valley Nails, right? And you make her briefs and all that. Like, did Mooncat, like I feel like I saw yours and then I saw Mooncat's brief and they look the same. Did you do those?
No. No, Mooncat does their own briefs.
Okay.
So they are, oh God, the amount of design that goes into those compared to what I'm doing for DVN. Mine are just pictures and
but
swatches.
I feel like I was like, these have a similar, I was like, I could see Tyler like being a part of this. I thought it was like, I can see it.
Well, that is a high compliment, because I don't know who exactly is doing Mooncat's design, but it is. Yeah. And have you seen the most recent brief that we can't talk about?
Yes, I have. Right?
Yeah. like that.
Amazing.
Is
iconic.
I mean, I could dream to like.
Also, just like every like little detail. I feel like I don't know if you've done like package design, because I feel like getting into that of like every little detail, and like I've like seen TikToks of like, oh, the barcodes are like like zebra or something, but it's like a barcode, or I don't know. Like I feel like like tiny little details are fun that like only you know about and no one will ever see. That was always my struggle.
For the cannabis, I do a lot of packaging design. So that's like a majority, actually. That's pretty much a majority of what I do for them. I do some campaigns like this Bio Jesus one, but all of their packaging, the entire line at this point, I think I've designed, and it's vast and it's so fun. Like I love getting a die line and being able to like figure out what we're putting on the package. And honestly, like, Mooncat is doing it better than anyone when it comes to all of that work. Like DVN as well. Like it's just so good. It's so good. I was immediately drawn to DVN's brand. That was like what sucked me in, and then I tried to polish, and of course was done after that.
I love the Death to Death line from Death Valley.
The Dust to Dust?
Dust to Dust, sorry, yes.
I like Death to Death.
Death to Death. That's the Halloween version. Well, there's like using like bone. One of them is bones from like cattle from the desert. But like using like natural like flowers, and like I'm like, this is actually like pushing the medium. This is not just like every other polish. Like I don't know, I like think about like, should I start a brand? And I'm like, what am I gonna bring to like making polish? We've seen all the colors. I have 3,000 bottles. Like what design am I gonna bring to like a bottle of polish? Like I don't have a perspective. But like Jen from Death Valley is like actually like pushing the medium, I think. And that's like, I love all of her polishes, but especially this death to dust to dust collection.
Yeah. No, it is so like every time I get a package from her, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like it is so innovative.
And her like mixing videos.
Oh, those
Yeah,
mixing videos soothe my inner struggles. Her ingredients in that dust to dust stuff are just incredible.
sure. We'll have to like have her come on and like explain it with you too.
That would be really fun, actually. I wonder if she would. That would be so fun to get
I feel
Jen
like she
on. I think
would.
Jen and Michelle too. It'd be fun to get Michelle
No, I
on.
would love to have Michelle on here. I just talked to Walker from Olive Ave Nails, Olive Ave Polish.
Cool.
It's fun. And I also have Deco Miami.
No, that's exciting. I can't wait to see that. And Walker too. I only have a couple Olive Ave polishes, but Lisa is calling my name constantly.
It's like a pink, right? Shimmer pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's a pink with the blue shimmer, but it's got
Yeah.
this like coverage that makes me, oh, it's so good.
I love all of her blue creams. I mean, that's my
Good to
favorite to
know.
wear. So,
I was gonna wear blue. I honestly, Abe, I was gonna wear blue today.
let's go.
In honor of you, but I'm mid swatch. Like I'm literally just like in the swatch.
For me, we kind of talked about it, internalized homophobia or like scared to paint your nails or like what people are going to say, which I feel like I definitely had and still kind of have. I think, even though I pretend like I don't, but like I think I do. Like I never paint this hand. And because I sometimes feel like maybe it's nicer just to have a hand that's not painted. Also, because there's a lot of work. Once I paint this, my main hand like 500 times, I'm like, I'm not painting another hand. So,
No, I get that. That's great of you to acknowledge and admit because I think that those parts of us, it's hard to get rid of them completely, and so echoes or phantoms of that definitely make their appearances. And I feel that sometimes too, where there'll be moments or social situations or just little things where I immediately am insecure about my polish or concerned that it's going to elicit some kind of reaction I don't want to deal with in the moment. Or, I mean, even sometimes like I just don't want to talk about it. Like I'm just like, we're out to order dinner and I see the server clock it and I'm just like, oh, I don't really want, I just kind of want to order dinner.
yeah.
Like but
You're like, I know they look good. You don't have to say it.
Oh, that's just me being a bitch. But no, but I feel like sometimes there is that like echo that's like, ooh.
It's hard, at least for me, because I definitely feel that and have that. But then it's like, am I then just like looking for that of like, because like, what are people like? Most people just don't care. They're like, walk by, like, whatever. Like, I don't think I've actually had someone say anything to my face. Have you? Specifically about the nails.
No, I mean, like I told you, I had that one person in my life that saw my hand and was like, all he had to say was, your hand is very feminine. Not like cool polish or like love your
That's what like I got a pedicure for like I think the first time ever. Because I painted my nails myself, but I was like, I'm not going back down there. Like I'm 6'3", like they're too far down. I don't want to do that. So I was like, let me go to a salon, like let me like pamper myself, like do like a fun thing. And it was nice. And I feel like I had to build up confidence to do that, to like be in that environment. I feel like I'm a very like male presenting person, other than my nails. I'm very hairy. But like anyway, but like I remember I came home, I like saw my parents, and then my dad was like, "Oh, you have your toenails painted or something." And I was just like, it put me in a whole like tale. I was like, like he wasn't saying anything bad, but like I had so much like trauma or like built up like stuff on it that I was like, look, what are you saying? Like it was just like a whole thing. And it was like I became defensive.
I totally get it.
It was like he wasn't saying anything. He was just like nails. I was like, okay. I don't know why he was like, I never expected you to paint your toenails. And I'm like, I've been painting my fingernails for 3 years. So I don't know how like big of a leap it is to like paint my toenails, but okay, fine.
How funny. Just through him. Seeing those digits down there painted. Huh.
Those toes.
Yeah, I mean that's particularly tricky with family too, like my parents, we don't, talk about anything really at all. So they don't comment on my nail polish or anything like that. And I have a few of my siblings are supportive, and my sister and her kids follow my account and like and react and stuff.
I didn't realize that like my sister-in-law like followed my account, because then she like started like sending it to like all my cousins and like things, and I was like, do I want that? Like I liked it when I had my own little world that no one knew about, but okay, fine.
Yeah, how long did it take for you to start like opening up your nail world to people in your life, in your personal life?
Like even like not really. Like I still like it's been like the last like year maybe. Now that I've like been making money through nails, I feel like that has like my parents are like, oh, so this is good. And I'm like, but before, like, you didn't think it was good, like, I don't know. So
That's so funny how that capitalism can kind of change any perspective. You're like, oh, okay, well, fine.
that's my like go-to to be like, well, I'm making money. And then like every like guy's like, I'll pay my nails if I make money.
Like, oh, fuck off. No, like it definitely does help kind of legitimize it a little bit. But I think we're sort of on the same arc as far as our like personal journey with nail polish. Like you said,
I think so.
started our accounts around the same time. And I'm now just also, I've noticed like this past year, have started following people for my personal life from my nail account. And I'm like, I actually do want to engage with you from this space too. We're like, prior, I had just like my personal one, and I would kind of very rarely click over to it, and like
same.
A tumbleweed would blow by, and I'd see like missed things, and I just hadn't been in there, and wasn't really engaging with folks. And this is kind of a pandemic result too, where it was just like I can't see what everyone's not doing with their masks and how much travel they are taking, and like all of this stuff. So I need to not look at my personal account anymore, and I'm only going to just focus on my nail account. And kind of left it in the dust for a minute, and then like have gone back to it. Anyway, but I'm just realizing lately that like, oh yeah, I do like, like two buddies that like really close with, I talk about my nail account to them, and they know it exists, and they always comment on my polish when I see them, but I just never like followed them or like, connected with them through that account. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start like opening up a little bit more to people and letting them see this side of things and not be quite so like embarrassed by it or ashamed, which I don't know why I feel that way or would ever have those feelings, but they're there. Can't lie.
I feel that. I feel like also it's been a journey of being, I guess, confident enough to just be like, yeah, no, this is just like, I like doing this. I feel like I've been trying to like understand what my connection to nail polish is in like this way of like my identity, like my gayness. Like, I think I see it as like a visualization of like my difference in this world of like, oh, this makes me different. Like, because if I was just like living in my day to day, like you're like, I don't like gay, I don't know, like sure, I'm like somewhat flamboyant, but like that's not like a blatant be like this is something different versus like if I'm wearing like neon nails, it's like no, this is different. Like this is not the same as ever. Like no one in my family paints their nails. My like mom never wears makeup, never like does any like that stuff. So it's like very foreign growing up. So it's also just like where did this come from? I think for them. So it's kind of like a weird like connection. And like it is a distraction too. Like you were kind of saying this like with your personal Instagram of just like going to your nail account and like being a distraction. I don't know if that fed your swatching.
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, if I'm like, well, it can kind of go both ways. If my mental health is not as great, I may be even more active sometimes on social or go even harder sometimes on like swatching and posting and stuff just because I'm like really needing that escape, And so sometimes when I disappear, it's because things are kind of good. But it can go back and forth too. Like that's not like a hard and fast rule for everything,
Yeah, if you're gonna be posting a lot, everyone's gonna be like, Tyler, are you okay?
Is everything all right?
You posted 3 times today.
No, I'm okay. No, but it definitely, especially in the beginning that was the case. Like right off the bat, like I was clinging to it completely. I was dealing with like anxiety. I've had anxiety my whole life. And so just like everyone was dealing with pandemic anxiety. It was just like compiled. And then a bunch of shit happened in our lives, like just trauma. We lost 2 people in our immediate family. Like shit went down during the pandemic where I was just in a really bad mental state. And it like kind of saved me, honestly. I
feel like that's a very common, like I've heard that from other people too. Like it was that like alone time to like actually have something to do that you like are thinking about nails. You can't think about anything else, it feels like. And you don't want to.
Yeah. And it's not a screen too, it's like that full distraction requires your full attention.
Do you not watch anything? Do you listen to things?
I listen mostly. Sometimes I'll try and sometimes when I'm like super chaotic, I'll like put a swatch video on while I'm swatching, which is so dumb. So dumb because I never like, I'm always mid swatch when like it's happening, and then I have to like pause and go back and sit and watch it for a second while I'm drying. Like it's chaotic. And so I try these days, I've just been trying to like throw on a podcast or, Trixie and Katya or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I'll like try to watch like some sort of Netflix show, but it's always like, I'm like, what's happening? Like, and then it's just like, I try to end like watch a boring show. And I'm like, why am I watching something boring? Like,
yeah, it's hard to focus. But something else I thought of that like really about nail polish that I think is just so cool is that it is like some of the most unique and interesting materials on earth that we're like getting in these, these
Hmm.
glitters and these shifting shimmers, and they're all. David was telling me one day that like the number one distributor and like user of these materials that we're using in our nail polish is the automobile industry. So it's a lot like
Hmm.
a lot of the similar, micas and multi-chrome stuff is just like going into paint on cars too.
Hmm.
But for me, at first it was just like creams at Target and
Yeah.
like that's nail polish. And then once I got into it was actually a hunt for more neons because I'd thrown away my original set and I was like, I need more neons. And there weren't a lot out there. It was just what was left over from Cirque's prior year.
Yeah.
And I think the Nails Inc. trio. And then there was Color Club, which actually, fun
Hmm.
fact I learned, was the manufacturer of American Apparel's neon.
Oh, so they probably were good then.
I bet they were. I
Yeah.
bet they were amazing. And I wasn't totally aware that Color Club like
Yeah.
existed when I came back into it. But I just got really fascinated with I actually bought a bunch of neon pigments before I started my account and started making neon polishes.
Oh.
Because I had the only one I could find was Thirsty. Yeah, I bought Thirsty. So I was trying to find something that matched Kim Petras's nail polish in
Hmm.
her album cover. Anyway, so that like opened me up to like I bought all this neon pigment and I started making neons. Actually, I have my in my recipe book right here.
Wow. Do you still have them?
I still have all the pigments. I had like actually for my day job, we have a team retreat coming up,
Hmm.
and my boss, I made her a nail polish, a neon one. She's a good friend of mine, and she was out of it, and she's like, "Will you make another batch of those of that like coral
Hmm.
neon?" And so I made a whole batch for the whole team, and so I'm
I
going to take
want
everybody
one.
a bottle. I'll make you one. I will.
That's
I made
exciting. That's
a
cool.
green and a pink the other day. I made some neon jellies a couple weeks
Ooh,
ago, so I was wanting
that's
them,
fun.
but
I feel like that ties into your. I want you to talk about the remover video you just posted
oh
recently.
yeah.
Your journey of like polish remover.
Yes. So it's kind of similar. It's similar with this making polish because I was like, I'm going
Yeah.
to start a business. I'm gonna,
Okay.
and then I realized I don't know anything. And David was like, why don't you make an Instagram and like get to know the
Hmm.
industry a little bit and like get to know the community? And I was like, that's actually probably a better idea. I'll just have this like making stuff be a little side hobby and I'll
Hmm.
start the Insta. Anyway, so that's why that happened. But the polish remover was seriously just like I was using it all the time, and David finally was like, "Babe, I really hate the smell of that remover." It took him a while to like get the courage to tell me, and he would buy it for me like at
Oh.
Christmas. I opened up one of my Christmas presents was just 3 giant bottles of it.
Hmm. That's a good present.
Yeah, it was that, and they were nested in like 4 bags of cotton balls. It was like the sweetest Christmas present I think
Oh.
I got. But he just hated the smell of it, and I don't blame him because it really is kind
I
of
feel like I kind of like it.
really. Well, I mean, obviously you're not alone because it's like so popular, and it is the best remover. Like shout out to
Hmm.
Zoya, like the best remover. But he just couldn't stand it, and so I was like, let's do it. Let's figure out
Hmm.
how to make our own. So figured out what the ingredients were, futzed around with it, and then we were literally going to make a business. And we like designed the bottle, we named it, we created a collection, we fragranced them all, we like really spent time formulating the colors so that they were just perfectly lightly tinted so that you didn't have to
Hmm.
worry about any staining. And then when we started running all the numbers and figuring out like how much acetone we'd have to store at our townhouse, like
Oh.
just the actual logistics of it and the
Yeah.
margin you would need to like make a profit on it and like
Hmm.
have it be a viable business. It's possible, but it's just
Hmm.
a lot of work and would be a huge undertaking. So if any brands want to do it, I got all the numbers run. I got it all done. I can help you develop your own remover, but
Yeah, I feel like you could partner with a brand, then they can have the bomb of acetone in their house.
right? I mean, hey, crazier things have
That's what
happened.
like when I bought a gallon of acetone at Sally's, the lady was like, "So like, are you gonna make? You're not making a bomb, are you?" She literally asked me that.
There's no better
Yeah.
feeling than walking out of Sally's with one of these babies. Seriously, just like, hey, I'm Walter White. Well, I mean, so I ultimately was like, I need to just democratize this. Is that the word? Yeah. Like, I just got to get this out to the world. Well, and mostly I was just like, people need to know that like it's so easy to make it. And like, and Larissa was on her search, and I was like, girl, just do this. Just try this. And then she was so amazing.
She convinced you to like post it, right?
Yeah, she totally propped me up and was like, hey, you did this. Like, like, I don't want to post about it without you having like, you need to post about this. You need to make something, and then I'll share it. And like, I would love to like direct people at it. But she was so generous to not just like take it and run with it. And, you know, she wanted me to be the content creator, and
I love Larissa.
I fucking love her.
I feel like she's my content like nail polish mom or something, where I'm always like, Larissa, can you help me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like always like giving me like therapy advice and be like, you don't need them. Like you're better. Like, don't let them get you down.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, honestly, there's nothing better than hearing her voice on a voice memo in your DMs. Like, it's the best. I just love her. Yeah. So she's the reason why I actually like put it out there, you know, like otherwise I don't know if I would have just like made the effort without a little bit of motivation from somebody and a little bit of a cheerleader. So thank you, Larissa.
Thank you. And thank you for like putting it out too, because I feel like it was really, I need to do it. I feel like it looks so cool. And as soon as I run out, because it is expensive, that purple stuff, where I'm like, I only do like one pump, but then it's like not enough to like remove it. So I'm like, I need to use more. I don't know. It's like a whole thing.
Just you wait. Like, it is the most liberating thing. Like, I'll do 5 pumps for my thumb. I just get liberal with it. And you know, it might be a little bit tricky with a pad though, to do that many pumps. Pad can't hold quite as much, which is why I actually ended up sticking with the balls. I'll actually do like, I'll pump it and then I'll wrap the ball around each finger, literally just for a minute. Yeah, it's just like a mini soak.
I don't know why I don't like cotton balls. I feel like it's like a thing. Like, I don't know. I don't like.
I get it, because they leave shit on your nails. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I've like had like this sick swatch photo, and I'm like, fuck, there's like this little piece of cotton like strung off the finger, you know, which we just edit out, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, that's time I gotta take, you know. So I get the flat pads. They're nice because there's no lint. I don't know. And then throw a fragrance in it, you know, like, get festive. It's kind of fun, actually. Like, for Christmas, I did pine all through the whole season, and once spring hit, I started doing citrus stuff.
That's cute. A cute little remover moment.
Fun. Yeah.
How much are you swatching?
Too much.
A lot.
Someone might hate me for saying that, but just like, I have no time for anything else. And I have this problem where I struggle to say no. And I'm getting better at it. I'm practicing restraint. I'm practicing, like, you know, trying to get more paid work, and not just because I spend hours and hours swatching for indie brands for free. Yeah. And it is wonderful to get the polishes. It is wonderful to get the opportunity to swatch for these brands, but it is often overwhelming to be pulling off, you know, the highest level quality content that you can. And it can get just a little bit too much sometimes.
I feel like, because I know where you are. I think we all go through that of like, the first time you get like PR, like, it's so exciting. Like, it's like validating too. Like, I think that was also like what I love, that high of like, oh my God, like, you like my stuff enough to send me stuff. Like, oh yeah, like, love to, like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a dopamine hit that like you can't replace, you know.
It's like opening packages. I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting today. Like, I don't know. I just have like a bunch of packages here.
Oh yeah, like, it'll be just a random day where there's no mail expected, and I'm still just skipping out to the boxes. I'm like, you never know. There could be something out there from OPI, or there could be something from China Glaze or whatever. You never know. So it is so exciting and it is fun. But then I like, sometimes, you know, I look at what's ahead of me and I realize how little time sometimes I have to do it. There are some brands who are really generous and like get things to me way in advance, and there are some indie brands who are paying, and that's really great. Even, you know, they're not able to pay a lot, but that doesn't matter. It's the fact that like they care enough to like make the effort to try and, you know, pay. It's super meaningful. But yeah, it's just still
that like transition though to like accepting a bunch of free like PR swatch work to like paid work, I feel like is super difficult. I think you just joined Crystal's group, right? So that's exciting.
Love her. Can we just gas up Crystal for a quick second?
I had her on the podcast.
She's so amazing. It has been a game changer for me. Anyone listening to this, go buy her guide. get in her private friends stories group and her Facebook group. Like if you're looking to try to truly monetize your content, like there's just nobody who knows more about it than her. And so I'm late to the game, but she's just been so incredible for just educating me on like how the hell this is all supposed to work and what rights usage actually is. And
which is like crazy, like as a designer, I feel like we should kind of like understand like, but like they don't like, right, so as soon as you design something like the client owns it, like, right?
yeah, and maybe that's, maybe I've been in the dark as a freelancer for this long too, and how I'm doing design and rights usage. But it is very much just like a transactional thing in graphic design. It's like, here's the thing, I quote you for it, I send it to you, it's yours, you get it forever.
Which is not the case for images, if anyone is wondering.
No. Yeah, and that's where this is different. I'm designing packaging and like something that they're going and printing, But yeah, with like your actual content, your videos and your images, which is like living art that will live forever, potentially on a brand's website or social,
But like with Crystal, like she's worked with like all the major brands, and like that, I feel like that's kind of like where she started. She was like, I'm gonna like monetize, and like, okay, OPI, like it was just like already at the top. Whereas like the rest of us are like, we're like in indie world. We've all talked to her about it, so like she knows now. But like it's a different thing to like transition from like indie world to like getting paid in like more like mainstream brands, which is super tough because like you create these relationships with these brands and like you want to do it, but then you're also like, I'm like, some people are paying me and I'm like, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm giving it to them for free. Like, it's just like, then you feel bad. I don't, it's a whole thing where I'm just like, I'm just going to stop doing anything for free or like with requirements. Of course, I like accept PR and it's just like without any requirements. I'm not going to like send you anything. And it's just like when I have time or if I want to, I can post. But it's not like I have to send you these many photos, these many videos by this date, and I can use it however I want, which is kind of like how it was in the indie world, which I'm assuming and experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the world we came into, right? Kind of, as it was sort of, I feel like it had already started to change. But I think a lot of brands were just used to sending their polishes, getting free content for their websites and just rolling on forward. And that was it. And, like it's hard when I know a lot of these brands, these little indie brands, they're not making a ton of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're not just like rolling in it and like, so I don't have big budgets and stuff for swatchers, but there is always, particularly with like polish pickup, there's a lot of potential. There's big potential to make good money. If you look at the caps of some of the polishes, like, some polishes are going over 1,000, 1,500, like big caps. But then that brand isn't paying their swatchers. And it's like,
cap, for anyone doesn't know, is like the top limit of number of polishes they can sell. I was like, remember, like, no cap. What does no cap mean? Like, this polish is bomb, no cap. I was like, what? I don't know. No.
No, yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Just like the polishes that have specific limits, you can just see how many limits they are, and then they outsell those, and then they open up 500 more bottles, and they sell those 500, and it's like, damn, okay, like, and I get it. Like, I've worked in small businesses as like, I was a creative director for a small skincare company for a little while and did photo shoots, did product shoots, did product development, sent product to influencers for PR, negotiated, did all of that, and was on the other side of things. And so I know how much it costs for a brand to do a photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. If you're going to do a real shoot.
Yeah, we're the ones doing the photo shoot in our room.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are the model,
the
lighting person, the photographer,
creative director.
The creative director. We're fulfilling a bunch of roles that if you were to do a shoot like Cirque does, when they do when they'll sometimes do an in-house shoot, that's got to cost a lot of money to hire those 3 to 4 models and to have all of your crew and to have like wardrobe and hair and makeup and nail techs on set to like paint nails, and it's a lot of money. So I totally understand why brands are like, hey, swatcher, can you do this?
Well, it makes sense for them.
Yeah, totally makes sense for them.
It's different when you just have like 1 or 2 brands maybe that send you stuff, but like when you have like 20 brands that like are all sending you stuff, it's like, okay, well, like obviously people like my stuff and like I'm desirable and like I have a lot of stuff to do, so it's like, okay, well, I can't do this all for free then. Like this has to be like
Yeah,
something else at this point,
totally.
which is where you are.
I'm kind of right there. I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I just don't have time. Like I don't have time to make the content I want to make. I don't have time to even make that content that you could eventually sell to a brand. Like that to me is like, I'd like to be able to do more of that. And I'm only thanks to Crystal learning about that process, where it's like
licensing out content you've already made. Yeah.
Girl, it kills me the amount of content that I made for a big brand that did a Peeps collection.
Oh.
And I just let them just repost for free, just all over, like basically an entire campaign of like content, because I was just having a fucking ball. I was like Peeps and pictures and like I was having so much fun with the polishes and creating content. And Sally Hansen has been so amazing, and they sent me some PR after that. But I just didn't even think like when they hit me up and were like, "Hey, we love that Peeps content. Can we repost that?" And at no point did I think to go, "Oh yeah, sure. Do you have a budget for reposting?" That's all I had to say. Just those little things that I just didn't. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring out. And
well, people still ghost you after that though. I've had like some major brands like still be like they'll like ghost you after you say that. If you're like, no, like sure, I'm glad you like it. Like I charge fees for licensing my content and like marketing use purposes. Let me know if you're open to that. Ghosted. Ghosted.
Which and I've experienced that too, but I feel like I'm at that stage where I'd rather get ghosted.
It's hard to like set those boundaries though, which is like a journey in the nail community too, of like also self-worth, right? Like I feel like we always think like our stuff isn't good enough, or like comparing to someone else. And
always, I mean, it's impossible. That the imposter syndrome is always there. It's hard to not
it's scary to like say a rate, because you're like, but I want to still work with you, like I don't want to raise my rate, and then like what if they drop me? But I think you just have to like take that leap and be like, no, like I'm gonna bet on myself that this is actually gonna work out. Because then also like you're setting yourself up for success. I feel like so many brands would be like, what if you just did it cheap for the first time, and then next time we can try to increase? Don't fall for that. They won't ever increase it if you do it for cheap the first time. Like you need to know your value from the beginning and not let them walk over you, which is hard. That's just general for everybody.
I think, that's like maybe one of the best pieces of advice that you just dropped right there. It's just like figure out what your value is and know it. And that's something that Crystal really helped me with too. Just like, how much is it costing per hour for me to not only create the content, but then you get into usage rights and all of that stuff. And so just kind of like figuring out like how much you need to make per hour to make it worth your time and all that, like all new ideas.
Your value doesn't have to be what a brand will pay. You define how much your work is worth. So
exactly. Amen. It's all easier said than done.
Exactly.
Obviously. But that's why we have each other.
Also going back to like, I'm like, do they just want me because like I'm a man, like, or whatever? And then like I would recently where I'm like, hey, do you want to do like a pride thing? Like, I'm like, where's this rainbow washing and how can I get the money? Like, if you're trying to take advantage, like give it to me.
Give it to us. Yeah. Like, no, absolutely. You should like, why are queer creators not the ones like at least getting paid right now this time of month? Like if we're going to do it,
it's our time of the month.
Pride thing. Yeah. Time of the year. Sorry. No, you got me.
But like they responded and they're like, oh, our pride campaign is full, but like, do you want to do something else? And I was like, okay, sure. Like, I guess you don't want me just because like of my like inclusivity or like gender or whatever. So I was like, sure, that's great. Let's do something else.
I mean, that's even better. Just like to get hired for non-pride stuff is like the best.
I think I have like 2 or 3 where it's just like they never talk to me. And then this month they're like, hey. Like, hey.
Totally. What's up?
Yeah. We love you.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that whole subject is really hard because it's like with what's going on with Bud Light this year and with just like all of the hate that's been, with Target and all the, Who else? I think Starbucks is like rolling back some stuff because
Starbucks has been bad. Like Starbucks used to be like so progressive.
Yeah, I worked at Starbucks while I was a dancer because it was the job I could have like off when we were off tour. And they gave us, it was way before gay marriage, and I got the job there so I could get David insurance because they offered domestic partner benefits. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
let me be the face of put me on Bud Light. I don't know. No, that seems horrible situation. That seems like don't want that.
No, but I mean, that is like, if
Yeah.
you are going to do it, if you are going to engage as a brand, you, first of all, better be donating something,
Yeah.
because it's like, this isn't a theme. It's not like Halloween.
Yeah.
It's not like a Halloween collection, Christmas collection. Like, this is like, Pride is a protest. We are fighting for our lives, trans people particularly. Like, it is just, anyway. So like, if you're a brand and you're going to engage, like, donate, and make sure you're like, all of your messaging better be focused on pride, equality, literally like what we're talking about in Pride, and just like owning your true self. And then, I mean, Mooncat honestly just like blows me away. The fact that they just fucking donated $5,000 to Tennessee, queer charities in Tennessee. I'm not sure which one. No lunch, no polishes, no even like do good polish. It was literally just like, we're dropping cash and that's it. And like, not every brand can do that, obviously, but like, the smaller brands. But like, if you are a smaller brand and you're going to do a Pride collection, you better focus on queer creators. That's the other thing. Like, that's completely missing. I haven't seen any queer creators making Pride content this year that they're getting paid to do it. And it's like the legit thing, except Adam Lambert for Orly.
Which I heard was like half of them were recycled polishes.
Yeah, it tricked me. I didn't know that. I bought the whole damn thing because they're donating to a trans charity, which I was really excited about.
And Adam Lambert.
Yeah, and it's Adam Lambert.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
fun.
Totally was like, okay, this is the Pride thing I'm going to do. I'm going to buy this one. Then I found out that they're all like re-releases. I was like, they're new to me, so I guess it doesn't matter.
I feel like they should have like had me like make a video.
Yes, I mean, I'm not
or
kidding.
You make a video like Bug Nails, or like all these people.
And Brace Nails. Like, I mean, she's been in the community out and visible and like
beautiful nails. Yeah.
Incredible content. Like, we should be seeing full campaigns with her,
The thing with Target, it's like what you said, it was like Pride is a protest. It's not supposed to be comfortable. Like, it's not supposed to like make everyone feel great. But like Target's like, oh my God, like, sorry, like we'll just like pull everything away. And like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, so you're not going to actually stand with us. Like, okay, cool. Like, then just don't even do anything then. If you're not,
just don't do it.
Hollow.
Yeah. If you're not going to go full on, be quiet.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. And it's like, there's no expectation for brands to do this. Honestly, like, you are wading into the rainbow washing territory. And so there's no expectation. But like, if you're not going to do it really well, then don't do it at all. That's my soapbox for Pride. I'm in my feelings this month. I always am. Like, it's always like a very celebratory time, but it is very, I mean, it's traumatizing this time of year. It's like, all of it's just kind of upfront in our faces. And it's been a really rough year for the community. And so anyway, didn't mean to get off on this Pride tangent, but.
No, it's good. I mean, people need to know.
They do need to know. And brands need to know. Brands, if you're thinking about what you want to do for Pride next year, like, if you want to engage next year, start planning now. And like, start thinking about the charity you're going to donate to and how you're going to center queer people and the actual meaning behind Pride in your campaign.
Not just a rainbow. Because that was kind of like a big scandal right when we started too, like this whole like Pride campaigns and not even including like queer people in the campaign. So I feel like that was kind of when I first talked to you, actually. Like, we had like a group chat.
I think so. I think it was early on. We came in the spring. That was the year that there was some big drama that went down.
There's always drama.
So, there is.
But
yeah, so
I feel like that's full circle for us to like also be here now. Like, I don't know. There's so many connections. I feel like, right? Everything's full circle.
It is. It's totally full circle. I feel like you were one of the first people I actually connected with. Like, literally one of the earliest accounts that like I was friends with right off the bat when I made my account. And I remember like you DM'd me early on. Like, so you go right back to my origins for sure.
You too. That we started at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. And I've loved watching your rise and just like evolution and just all of the like, you're so honest in your content and you just show everything and you're very vulnerable.
Keep going.
No, it's just really great. I'm a fangirl. I have been all along, and so I'm happy to be able to call you friend too. I'm glad that we've connected over the past
too. Year. I'm so grateful you to come on this and be part of my podcast. I haven't even launched this yet when we're recording this, and I knew I needed you on here. You have such a creative field and experience outside of nail polish, and like you can see that in your content. Like, you can see that in what you post and what you do. So I really appreciate that as a designer outside this as well.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Everyone, please follow Evil Twin Nails on everywhere.
I am, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay, so what did you think? A little bit longer of an episode because Tyler and I couldn't stop talking. No, but I love this episode. Please follow Evil Twin Nails everywhere. I'll link his Instagram down below, as well as his video where he shows you how to make your own nail polish remover if you're interested. I have comments. Hey, Mercedes says, I'm loving your podcast. Larissa is amazing, by the way. We've chit-chatted here and there via DM. She's a wealth of knowledge. And when it comes to engagement growth, she has endless amounts of ideas. Definitely learned a few things. Thanks for listening, Mercedes. Happy2451 says, great interview. Love Larissa. Same. Let's High Five says, I follow your Instagram, but I didn't realize you also have a YouTube/podcast. I do. Definitely found you via Instagram from Larissa, and now here too. Interesting chat, and definitely subscribe for more. You heard it here first, folks. Subscribe for more. Abe.nailbabe YouTube. Can find full episodes there if you're not here already. Hannah Joelle says, this is so good. Been following Larissa for years. Love hearing what goes on behind the scenes for her. Yeah, it's a little peek behind the curtain into the nail world. It's what we're doing here on Nail Babe, okay? So please rate and review the pod anywhere you get your podcasts. And as always, thanks for listening. Now I have to paint my nails.